Hi, and welcome to a new episode. I'm Sara Totegete, one of the co-founders of GlobeDesk, and with me today I have Emma Smedlund, engineering manager and coach, and we are going to talk about employee wellness today. Welcome, Emma.
Thank you so much. So great to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's my honor and pleasure to be here with you
Yeah,
today.
happy to hear. I'm super excited because this is a subject that is like really close to my heart. Could you please share a bit about your background and your experience?
Yes, thank you. I work mainly as an engineering manager. I have been working as an engineering manager for 7+ years, but I started in the tech industry as a developer actually. I have a degree in front end development and I worked for my first couple of years in the industry as a developer.
Okay, nice. You are definitely the right person for this conversation.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, today in the digital age that we are living in, work-life balance can be tricky. With Slack, emails, notifications constantly pinging. How can employees set better boundaries without feeling guilty?
Yeah, such an important question to reflect on. And the first thing I want to say about that is that there is no need to feel guilty here because context switching, as we know, kills all productivity, which is unhelpful for all parties involved. So, by setting boundaries in these areas, you actually help everyone involved. So when you do set a boundary here, be proud of yourself for being brave and leading the way. And I invite you to reflect on like how can you curate your Slack and set up your notifications and emails so that you keep context switching to a minimum.
Mm.
And maybe also think about what information is critical, medium, or low priority for you
Mm.
to digest. You can set it up so you digest what is most critical for you at certain times of the day, medium at other times, low priority. Maybe just look into that once per day, for example. And when you have a strategy that works for you, communicate it to your manager, to your team, and stick to it.
Mm.
Because what you do, people expect you to keep doing.
Yes, very true.
So, as with anything, communication is key here. And use the technology we have available. So use emojis for Slack to set your away messages or whatever it might be, and be clear in your daily stand-ups or morning meetings about what you will focus on that day and when you are available to your team
Mm.
for like huddles or um, answering notifications.
Yeah, I think that is a really good advice to like set the expectations. Um, we also are seeing a struggle, I would say, in work-life balance during holidays or time off. How can we manage this in a better way?
Yeah, I see this so often with people in my teams that they usually tell me before they go on vacation that don't worry, I will bring my laptop with me. And then I always tell them that I don't expect you to work on your vacation, so please don't. I want you to take the time to reset, think about something else, rest your brain. Um, get that well deserved time off. But I understand that there is concern around this, and that not everyone has the same mindset. So I really invite people to reflect on, like, what is work-life balance to you, and what do you need to be the best version of yourself at work? Essentially, will the house burn down if you don't work during vacation?
Probably not.
Probably not. Hopefully not.
Mm.
And also, again, communicate clearly what people can expect from you, especially your manager. Um, does your manager want you to work during vacation? Does your teammates? And if the answer to that question is yes, is that okay with you? Is that a good place for you to work at? Mm, and basically, like, ask yourself, what is your inner no, and do you dare to stand by it?
Mm.
We are so used to like overstepping our needs that we no longer know our limits. But the thing is that every time you say no to something that costs you too much, you are simultaneously saying yes to your own energy and long term sustainability.
Yeah.
So, delete those apps on your phone while you're away. Delete Slack and email apps. You don't need them on vacation. And don't bring your laptop.
No, that's a good advice. Let's talk a bit about tools for stress management. Management. We hear a lot about meditation and breathing techniques. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yeah, so I didn't mention in the beginning there, but I am a certified meditation teacher and also a certified breathwork instructor. So, yes, I can talk a little bit about this. So, um, the thing is that we have around 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. And out of those, 90% ish are the exact same repetitive thoughts that you had the day before. And out of those, around 80% are negative thoughts.
Hmm.
And with this in mind, it's important to know that the goal of meditation is not to stop thinking. Thinking is the function of the mind, just like the heartbeat is the function of the heart. And you're not going to tell your heart to stop beating, right? So rather, the goal is to tame the mind, to calm it down, and to train it to focus on one thing for a longer period of time. And why do we want to do this? So that instead of the mind controlling us, we control our mind.
Hmm. Yeah, that is really important.
Because we are not our thoughts, yet many of us live our whole lives as if we are. But meditation gives us space, a moment of peace, choice.
Hmm.
So practicing meditation, even just for 5 minutes per day, helps us to take control of our mind, which then improves our mental health. And there's a lot of scientific studies that proves this,
Hmm.
that meditation consistently over time, more is not better here. It's not about duration, but it's like small moments consistently over time that improves our cognition, our focus, our concentration, and also our working memory.
Hmm.
Um, so many benefits that helps us in our work life, but also in our personal life.
Yeah,
So
super interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Did you want to add anything or?
yeah, just that meditation creates stillness and clarity in the mind, so that you can make conscious choices about your own life.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds really good. And what would you say could be an alternative stress management strategy for people who struggle with traditional mindfulness?
So I often hear, that people say that they are too restless, for example, to meditate. But that's like saying, I'm too dirty to take a shower. um, it's like exactly because you are restless that meditation can help.
Mm,
Um, but I do invite people to reflect on why you feel resistant to meditation or why you struggle with it. And if you can identify that, then you have identified your current state and also your entry point. And you can also reflect on, like, when was the last time that you felt present? Because this is really what meditation is about, being present in the moment.
mm,
So if you can remember a time that you felt present, what did you do then? How did you feel? And how can you do more of that? How can you incorporate more of that in your daily routine? That can be your mindfulness practice, makeshift in the
mm,
meantime. So, because mindfulness, as I said, it's about being present in the now by focusing on one thing. So, if you can find a moment when you focus on just one thing, whether that is to only eat when you eat, take a walk without your headphones on, or just closing your eyes and taking a few conscious breaths.
mm,
That's also options to traditional mindfulness.
mm,
Spending time in nature
mm.
is also
Yeah.
very nice. And then there are dynamic types of meditation like yoga,
Mm,
shaking, which is a practice where you sort of shake your body for like 10 to 15 minutes, and you just shake off any stagnant energy or stiffness in your body.
mm,
Massage is nice, of
mm.
course.
Yes.
Your body likes that.
Yeah.
Breath work, if I can touch a little bit on that as well. Um, breathing, breathing consciously is like the most balancing, cleansing, and calming tool that we have. And the awesome thing is that it's always readily available to us at
Mm,
all times. Um, and in the Western society, many of us have like a dysregulated breathing pattern because maybe we have been like sucking our tummy in because it makes us look thinner, or we are so stressed that we have our breath like up here in like
yeah.
in our lungs. Maybe we hold our breaths because we feel threatened a lot. um, and a well functioning breathing pattern actually improves our physical and mental health. It also improves focus, concentration, and presence. So, if we can practice breathing, breathing like all the way into our stomach and back out again, like in and out through our nose, then
Mm,
that helps us have a more regulated breathing pattern, and that helps us sleep better. It helps our digestion, supports the immune system, and makes you more resilient to stress. And there are many different breathing techniques in the Western culture, but also in pranayama, which is one of the 8 limbs of yoga. But for example, the Navy SEALs one, the box breathing, where you breathe in for 4 seconds through your nose, you hold your breath for 4 seconds, and then you exhale through the nose for 4 seconds, and then you hold again for 4 seconds, and you do that in a cycle like 10 times or so.
mm,
That improves focus and cognition. It's also balancing and grounding, so that's a simple one that you can do.
mm. No, super interesting. And Let's talk a little bit about burnout prevention, because that is the consequence of stress during a very long time. So
Mm,
many of us knows the signs of burnout, but
mm,
what are the early kind of more invisible signals that often
mm.
go unnoticed?
Yeah. So important to reflect on, because this is exactly what I think that most people miss. So one thing is really a really important sign is that we resist rest. So when we feel a need in our body to always be moving, to always be active, when we have the opportunity to sit down and rest, but we immediately think of something else that we should do.
Mm.
Um, or when we kind of procrastinate at night, it's time to go to bed, but we find ourselves scrolling instead. We resist rest.
Mm.
That is a sign of a nervous system that is very sort of high strung. Also, if we have disrupted sleep patterns, meaning that either it takes a long time for us to fall asleep, or if we wake up a lot, like every other, like during the night, and also like an hour or so before the alarm goes off, we wake up and we can't go back to sleep. If we have poor digestion, so if we have issues with our gut, basically like IBS, if we consistently have tense muscles, like we have our shoulders up here by the
Yeah.
ears, tense jaw, tense shoulders, neck, pelvis as well. These are all systems actually of a dysregulated nervous system that can have gotten stuck in fight or flight mode. But the good news is that we can regulate our nervous system and prevent burnout with some very simple tools.
Mm.
Um, and I would say that the key here is that when we start listening to our body and respecting our body, when we start respecting our need to rest, then creativity and productivity returns,
Mm.
because creativity doesn't live in stress, it lives in presence.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. What would you say is an unexpected approach to burnout prevention that most people overlook?
I would say the first thing is that I would like to invite everyone to, instead of looking for advice outside, try to look within yourself
Mm.
and listen to your own truth. Listen to your own body, because it has so much wisdom and it always knows exactly what you need. And if you listen, it will tell you. The tricky thing is to the tricky thing is that what your body wants and your mind wants can be different things. Because your mind is so conditioned by the expectations of society, culture, and childhood, that it might resist what your body needs. But this is really just a survival instinct, so you need to move beyond that. So if your body wants to rest, allow it to rest. If your body wants to eat a little bit more, let it eat a little bit more. If your body wants to say no to something, you will feel it in your body, you will feel it in your stomach. So
Mm.
then just say no,
Mm.
and allow no to be a full sentence. You don't
Mm.
have to explain yourself all the time or come up with reasons why not.
Mm.
Um, Again, saying no to someone or something else is saying yes to your own energy and space and integrity. So be kind to yourself.
Yeah, that's really good advice. be kind to yourself. Yeah. So at GlobeDesk, we work remotely, and with remote work, there can also be a challenge of isolation because you spend many hours at home, for example. So, how can remote employees create meaningful social connections without like forced virtual happy hours or
Yeah.
events?
Mm, so I think that working alone or remotely isn't the real issue. It's the lack of meaning, reflection, and sort of shared presence. We need to feel like we belong to something more or greater than our calendars, basically. So ensure that you have the hygiene in place. So it's important to know the why, and that you can unite as a team around the why. Like, why are you here? What are you bringing to the world? Make sure that you have a clear goal and direction that you can unite around. And if you don't, you need to speak to your managers or product managers. Um, Also, make sure that you have had your ways of working, working agreement, basic team building activities, and also that you iterate over those continuously, like at least every third month. You need to revisit those and have a good workshop around that, a good conversation around how you want to work together. Um, because that also really is something that unites people, and it's in those sessions that we get to speak about what really matters to people in the team.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
Oh, no, super good. Have you seen any kind of surprising rituals or team habits that actually make people feel connected?
So the most powerful and value creating habits are always the ones that sort of comes from within the team, I think. And it can be as easy as people taking initiative to reaching out to your teammates to pair program, to mob, to huddle, and making sure that you have some laughs in between.
Mm.
But recently, and yeah, because it's important to be the change you want to see, right? So you have
Mm-hmm.
to take those steps yourself. But recently, I have had the pleasure to both lead a couple of surprisingly good workshops, but also be part of a couple of initiatives. So one is a sort of strengths and expectations workshop in which team members talk about what your strengths are that you sort of bring to the team, different competences and capacities and experiences that the rest of the team can benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
So you sort of lay that on the table so that everyone gets to know, okay, so these are the pieces that we have in our puzzle. And also where we talk about what I, as an individual contributor, expect from the team as a whole, and what they can expect from me.
Mm.
And that also really spurs valuable conversations where people like learn new things about each other and
Yeah.
learn about how people want to collaborate, which is so important. And then I also had the pleasure of being part of a team speed dating
Mm.
initiative the other day on a rooftop, in which all of the teams in that particular area met with other teams and talked about, okay, what are we responsible for? What do we rely on you for? And what is like a concrete action that we can take together to work better together? And that was also really great. It helped people connect on a new level. So that was really, really valuable.
Super interesting. Is there anything else that you would like to add as a general advice around the subject that we have been talking about today, employee wellness, that you find important, or like a key tool that you would like to share?
So I really invite everyone to be authentic.
Mm,
Um, I know that imposter syndrome is a big challenge in the industry, um, but I always advise people to be authentically, unapologetically yourself. Bring everything of you, like your whole self, to the table, because it's when you do that that you create value, not only for yourself but for the company as a whole.
mm,
And the second thing is to focus on your strengths and where your passion and joy is. Focus on that rather areas that in which you feel like you're not as strong, or where you feel like uh, mm, you're getting drained rather than filled. That's supposed to be other people's jobs. Hopefully, you have a team that is dynamic in that way, that we have all of the pieces to make the puzzle complete. So, focus on your strengths and where your inspiration and joy and passion is guiding you. Because again, that's also where you will create the most value, not only for yourself, but for your team and for the company as a whole.
yeah, super good advice, really. I thought we could wrap up with a more easygoing question.
Mhm.
So, after a work week, what does a perfect Friday night look like for you?
Mm. Very, very relaxing. For me, Friday nights are holy in that way. So I would probably do some wind down yoga, some breath work, and a meditation. And then I would prepare a really nice meal and just cuddle up on the couch and watch something really, really silly that I can just sort of rest my brain
Yeah.
on and
Mm.
just have a laugh.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Thank you so much, Emma, for joining us today and talk about this like really, really super important subject. I mean, yeah, for everyone. And if you, as a listener, found this interesting, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interviews. So, yeah, until next time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
too,
you.
Emma.
Bye.